talk about mixed media beginners and how to get organized, how to help them, what to do to get everything a little bit easier. So we are now going to share that video to Facebook as well, and if you'd like to share it on your own social media, you're more than welcome, of course. And I can't wait, honestly. This is going to be a really interesting discussion. Hello, hello, how are you? Charleston, this is great. I will do my best to see the chat on the other screen as well. Oh, we have 10 people already. Hi, guys. Oh, there's a glare on my face, but we have to somehow deal with that. Okay. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Brenda. Okay, I can see the chat. This is good. So if I'm looking that way, this is just because I'm looking at the chat to make sure this is going to be visible. And sometimes if I will miss a question, I will just try to come back to that as well. So please don't worry. So welcome to my studio. And I think this chat is going to be quite interesting. I've got some points noted, so I won't forget anything important. I've got examples of the products. I've got some good reasons to pick these ones as well. And I hope this is going to answer your questions. If you feel that you are a beginner, or you know some beginners that they would like to start mixed media, or you would like to help your friend to start mixed media, or maybe you are a teacher and you would like to give some advice to your students, this stream may be very helpful for you. And personally, I prefer to do live streams comparing to traditional videos because I love this interaction with you, and it is much easier for me to understand what you really need to hear, because videos, they don't give you that instant feedback. And I can see people joining. If you like this kind of video, don't forget to like it, to give me thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because this channel is basically all about art, mixed media, and products. So if you're interested in learning, this is a place for you. I can see we have people from Carolina. And your first time on the live stream, don't worry, this is really fun. Probably the hardest thing for me is to read the chat and to talk at the same time. Please expect that at some points I may be talking a little bit longer, so I may not see your question. And if you'd like me to come back to this question, just keep posting it. And if you can see I still can't see it, and my assistant here can't really see it as well, just put it in caps lock so I can really see the question. And we've got some of my patrons here as well. These are people who joined me on Patreon, and they take online classes with me every month, and they have a lot of perks. They are kind of like mixed media pros, especially after over 1 year of classes. They are people who can give you some advice as well. And I think I've seen somebody from my brand ambassadors as well, so you are in good company. So first of all, I think we can start. This video goes also to Facebook, to Finnabair and Friends Open Studio, but I can't see the comments from both sources. So if you are in that one of the Facebook groups and you would like to ask question, you can come here to YouTube and then post the question here, and I will be able to respond better. My husband is helping, so he will Let me know if there are any questions there, but we don't want to we don't want you to feel like, you know, left behind. YouTube is giving me better quality of the video. That's why it is easier for me to show you some details, and that's why I prefer YouTube to Facebook, and it's always easier to find it in here. So guys, hello, hello. I can see very international group joining today, and I can see quite a lot of you in the first 5 minutes. So I think the topic was interesting, and I asked you that question on Facebook and on my Instagram as well. By the way, don't be shy. If you see the questions in the stories, feel free to answer, because I keep reading these, and this is a really great way of contacting with me. If you comment on my Instagram account under the post, I see that all. And I was asking which topics you would like me to talk about from the perspective of the beginner. If you're a beginner in mixed media, what are your biggest struggles? What is the field that you feel you are not very confident about? Where to start? What to do? And I get it. I know if you look at all these finished projects, all that you can see behind, for example, that may be a little bit intimidating. Especially there are so many products on the market and so many different styles. And there are people who surely their purpose is to show you how to make projects, or to make how to invite you to the product, so you are tempted in so many ways. It is really easy to feel a little bit lost, and this is kind of natural, and you don't really have to feel that, oh, you are the only one. No, there are many of you who are not really sure what is going on, what do you need. And this video is mostly about like the product set that is going to be great start for almost everybody starting this kind of mixed media, which I kind of focus on. But I will try to put some extra tips in between. If you would like to have, if you'd like to get another video where I'm talking more about general mind setup and getting yourself into this creative zone from the beginner's point of view, and how to think about you as a creative person and how to find support, let me know as well, because this is a huge topic. And many of these things, they require really longer classes than just a live stream for 1 hour or 2 hours. So yes, and when you feel that you are lost, be sure there are many people who are lost as well. And this lack of confidence comes from the very simple source. Mixed media or any kind of art and craft, it's like any other skill. To get to the point when you feel confident, or when you feel like, yeah, you know what you are doing, or you know what to expect, you need to go through certain stages. It's like playing computer game, right? You start as a peasant to finally get to the king, right? So you have to get through several stages, and if you've never done any kind of crafts, you may really feel that this is complicated. But it's like any other skill. You just need to practice, and the more you practice and the more you play and the more heart you put into it, the easier it gets, and you're more able to recognize what you really want to do. So don't feel lost. This is absolutely like any other hobby. Jumping in the deep water may be really scary, so try to dip your toes first, okay? You don't have to make huge project as a very beginning. Start with something that feels safe, and believe me, any kind of creative activity is valuable, it's important, it's valid, and it is something that is going to make a small change in your life as well. So to get to the bigger projects like that, you need to practice on the less complicated and the smaller ones as well. And I hope that makes sense. So First of all, how to how to get yourself there, and what do you need to start mixed media. First of all, you don't need as much as you think. And that is the first important information. I would say it's more important to first stop before you will go and buy anything, and do a little bit of the research and thinking. And I really mean it. First of all, you need to recognize and check what kind of stuff you have at home. Because I noticed a lot of people who are starting mixed media, they're usually transitioning from some other kind of craft. They are not exactly complete beginners when it comes to crafting. It's not like they will wake up one day and they will decide, I want to make dimensional mixed media collage. No, usually they were exposed to some kind of arts before, so they may have leftover or quite big stash that may be great source of the elements or art mediums to use in your mixed media projects. So don't think you have to get something completely different. Look through your drawers, make like inventory what you've got, what kind of stuff you've got, and buy the things that are missing, okay? Try to just save the money at the very beginning. You don't have to buy everything that you like, because the key is to really say what you like while doing, instead of predicting what you may like. This is my important advice. Try first. So once you have your this inventory, so you know, for example, if you were a scrapbooker before, like I was doing a bit of scrapbooking before, I have quite large stash of scrapbooking papers. So I can use these to create textures, layers, colors. So this is good start. If you, I may have some embellishments already, and some of them are mismatching, and you can use them easily for mixed media projects, especially the style that I'm talking about. If you were doing some kind of card making, the same story. You will have a lot of the supplies that may be easily used in mixed media. For example, you may have inks. You may have embossing powders. You may have some coloring products already. This is a great start. So you make your inventory. You check. Maybe you have some wool because you were doing knitting. Perfect, fiber art. You maybe you were doing some kind of gluing, jewelry making. Perfect, you already have some glue at home. This is great start. And next thing, once you will look at what you've got, you go to the next point. Tell yourself, what do you want to do? Okay? Because there are so many different styles in mixed media, and there are so many different styles in crafts and arts, and you don't use exactly the same thing for each kind of project. So before, again, you're going to spend your money, you're going to go to the shop, try to determine which style do you like. Maybe there's something like it's on the top of your wish list. Let's say you are absolutely in love in, upside down, projects like that. Something that is light, airy, with a bit of shimmer, with maybe an image, something like a bridge between scrapbooking and mixed media, okay? So surely you don't need a lot of dark colors for this purpose, right? Try to see what kind of elements people usually use when they make this kind of project. Make a list. Most of the times when you have online tutorials, people post a product list of what they were using. This is for you not just to buy everything, but also you can recognize which items are repeating all the time. For example, in every project that you like, there was white gesso. And that is something that is absolutely on the top of your list. You know that if you don't have white gesso at home, you need to have it. So it's a moment when you have to be honest with yourself. And if you were not able to make any decisions, you may ask your friends for extra support. You may discuss these things a little bit. But remember, you have to go in steps. You can't go just into the deepest water right away, because it is not possible. First of all, because of the time. You don't have the time to practice every kind of style at the same moment. It's not going to happen. Second, money. Products are usually expensive, but once you buy it, you can use it for a long time. So if you would like to try different styles, build your stash gradually. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So you don't need to get everything from the list that is under the project. Try to find the key elements and put your money into that. Okay, so I will try to help you, because I prepared like the basic kit. I believe is going to cover most of the needs, but this is this important moment when you have to really realize what kind of projects speak to your heart. Like, what is your thing? Like, what is the item that you would love to have at home, made by yourself? What would you like to try? And as you probably expect, I'm going to give you the advice based on the style that I create myself in, right? So something that you can relate to my projects and my design team projects as well. It's great source of information to check the product list after the tutorials, and some of these will really repeat many times. This this canvas, it was done 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago, and I made it inspired. Basically inspired with the colors of Santorini Island, which are beautiful. The photo was taken in Santorini. You can see the beautiful bougainvillea, so the pink color, and the blue door. That was the inspiration, and that was done based on that color palette. Oh, thank you very much, Therese. You are so kind. I got a tip. Look, guys, I earned some money today. Big hearts. Thank you so much. This is so kind of you. That is absolutely wonderful. Thank you, I appreciate it. So guys, I give you advice based on the style that I represent. What is happening on my hair? Okay, sorry. I put my makeup on and everything, and now the hair is acting out. So I made a list, and once I will be showing you these, I will give you the reasons why I picked these items over the other ones, because there's quite a lot of the choices. And of course, I will show you the examples that I have at home. So mostly they are my items. So they are mostly my products I made for Prima, but there are similar items on the market and you may have them already at home. So again, important information. Don't buy another one. Just wait until it's almost empty and then buy another product from the same kind if you would like to try it. Okay? So that is important. So let's go to the next point. First, you looked into your stash. You know that you may have some paints, maybe you have some ink, maybe you have some stamps, maybe you have pencils, maybe you have twine or paper scraps. Whatever you have, put it already in front of you. This is important, right? You don't need to buy these, you have plenty. Second, you recognize your style. You prefer to go light or you prefer to go dark. Yeah, so you can see the color, starting color on both of these is going to be different. You need a different set of products to get to the different looks. So this is important question. And next thing is, are you in doing more flat projects or more dimensional projects? And I'm not telling you that you have to make decision and you stick for that to this decision forever. We are talking about the first weeks, first months, depending how much time you've got. So this time when you are dipping your toes in the shallow water. So this is like the starting point. You can start with the dark colors, and then once you get a little bit of the experience and confidence, you may transition to the lighter ones. Or you can start with the light ones and you can transition to the dark ones. I'm just telling you, don't buy everything at the very beginning, because you may make some mistakes, like buying things you don't need, or you will just spend all your money and you will be suffering later. You don't have to buy everything, okay? Next question is, sorry, the project. Are you going to go dimensional, right? Or you're going to go flat? This is also important, and I will tell you why it is important once you're choosing your art mediums. So you made your notes, you checked what you have, you went online and you saw some tutorials and some videos, and you were talking to your crafty friends. You know what you've got. Now it's the time to make first purchases, some things that you're going to start you. And I would say if you want to buy products to the start, important thing is, please buy the things you can't replace, like the things which are essentials and you can't replace them with anything else. So, for example, the things that you can't replace are tools, such as brushes, maybe stencils, maybe I would say heat gun you can replace with the hairdryer at the beginning. So, but tools, things that you can reuse many times, and this is good buy. And I will show you examples of my choice of the first step tools as well. Buy the things which are good quality, like decent quality, because if you're going to buy really cheap, for example, very bad quality stencil is going to break easily. And if you're going to buy bad quality gel medium, it is going to be lumpy and it's going to make you unhappy, and you will wonder why it is so hard to do things, right? So try to buy at least middle shelf of the product, so you are not spending the money on the things which are really poor quality, which makes your work harder for a beginner. There are some very cheap items, of course, but sometimes it means they're not going to be great results with them. And it's very discouraging when you're trying to do techniques somebody's showing you, and for some reason they are not working. And this is not you. Sometimes it's the brush which is not great, or the art paint that you bought is just too thick. Something is not exactly right because you are saving in the wrong place, okay? And the third thing is, you should buy things such as paints or things that give you color, so you can have some color palette, okay? These will be like things, tools, good quality art mediums, and paint. You can save your money on embellishments, you can save your money on surfaces, you can save your money on fancy, sophisticated tools. You don't need that at all. You need to have the basic kit that is going to give you the chances. And I will show you some examples in a moment as well. Michelle said something long. Okay, mixed media. Thank you. Michelle said such nice things. So I told you about buying in steps. So making your way through all these stages instead of jumping in and buying everything. Start with something, learn a little bit, experiment, and go to the next ones. Buy the things which are really investment, not something that is easy to replace with something else. Like for example, embellishments are a good example of that. And also buy the things which are multi-purposed, or they give you the chance to reproduce. For example, Multi-purpose things are stencils, because you can use them in many ways. Molds, because you can reproduce a lot of elements many times. For example, basic pastes, they are going to be very multi-purpose, and this way this is good investment comparing to high specialty product. If you're going to buy high specialty product which is only doing one thing, for example, you're buying super fancy glitter paste, it's absolutely beautiful. You want to have it everywhere, including your own body, but it is only going to give you glitter, right? That is something which is later buy. Like, you can buy it later. First, you need the basics, okay? And when I was creating the line for mixed media for Prima, I followed that idea. I made the basics line and I made extravagance line. Okay, there is a reason. The basics line, these are the products which are on the basic side of the scale. They give you more opportunities, and they are like staple things you have to go. And when you have extravagance line, this is like, yeah, we are getting fancy. This is what is extra. This is something that you can buy later once you have your things, already a little bit established, sorted. You understand what you can do. You are a little bit more familiar with the techniques. So you are not maybe just toes deep in the water. You are kind of knees, or maybe even your bottom in the water, so you know what you are doing. You can get there and start really swimming. This is natural, that what you see here, these are years of collecting and years of experience, and a lot of people you see who are sharing their projects over internet, they are professionals or almost professionals, and they were collecting their stash, and they were getting their skills for many years. So what you look at is somebody equal to, for example, professional car driver, right? Or let's say a professional cake decorator, somebody who really knows a lot. So that is hard to compare yourself when you are just starting to that kind of person, and it's really easy to get into the pitfalls of buying everything that you see. And that is this is this moment when you have to stop yourself a little bit. Okay, so we talk about good quality, we talk about multi-purpose, and we talk about things that you can use in many ways. And I want you also to understand and remember that good set of products, it's not equal to good project. Okay, you may have all the products in the world on your table, but if you don't have good idea, you don't have the skill, or you don't really know what to do with them, you're not going to have a good project. You may have brilliant project done with very basic supplies, and the more you know about basics, the more confidence you get, and the more wonderful ideas come to your mind, and better projects you may do. So don't skip that point, okay? Don't skip the basics, because this is something that is giving you solid fundament, like the foundation of your own style, and the foundation for your next level skills as well. So let me show you the basic kit. I prepared, and I have some things I would say it's like later buy as well, based on what I've got in my studio. I will give you the reasons, and I will go deeper in some of the topics I mentioned now, if you would like to, and I will try to give you some tips. But this is a huge topic. Basically, being a beginner, it's a huge topic. So I hope this is going to be interesting for you. I hope I got your attention a little bit. And you are probably guessing what some of the items will be, okay? So probably your best guess is going to be, let's see, yeah, gesso. But let me show you why this gesso is important. I will show you my table, and I've got some good examples here we can discuss. This is my ceiling, and this is my table. Okay. Here we are. So first of all, I have a list here so I won't forget anything. We are talking about the style that I represent and something that I really know quite a lot about, right? So this is from my point of view, and part of that is going to translate to other kind of mixed media, for example, more flat projects, but not everything. One of the things that is different when it comes to my style, so the things which are dimensional and really sometimes extremely heavy, is we use a lot of items to create the project. Instead of just playing with paint and traditional tools such as stencils or stamps, we use real objects. And that is making our beginner's kit a little bit different, okay? So, as you can see, there are two examples here. One is with the white background and one is with the black background. And I will try to give you the idea what would be the minimum to create similar look on both of these projects, okay? So this kit is going to cover both black and white. So hopefully this is going to help. I will show you my choices. Before I'm starting, is there any questions I should answer before? Okay, I don't see any yet, but so first of all, the most important thing you need to buy is gesso. And in most of the other art styles, you would only buy white gesso, because this is the primer that is going to help you prepare all of your surfaces easily. And gesso, some people ask what it is. There usually is description on the packaging, but in fact, this is your isolation and mattifying agent in one, which means you put it as a primer that is preparing the surface to be painted or colored, or it is preparing your embellishments to be colored, but also this is just kind of white surface. So if you need white color in your project, this is going to give you white color as well. White gesso is one of the most popular art mediums. It is also very one of the cheapest art mediums. It's good to have big container on this. This is of course example of the tube, but I also have big jars and medium jars. And white gesso is going to be your best friend for many techniques. For example, you're going to use it as a primer, but also for dry brushing, also for whitewashing. A lot of the colors you can see in the background, it is all covered on some point with gesso. You can see elements here, all that. It was partly covered with gesso on some point. And that was white gesso on that side, and there was clear gesso here. This is your basic that you can't skip. And I prefer heavy gesso because I work mostly with texture. But if you are more into flat projects, you may buy regular gesso, which is going to be much more fluid, and you're going to have great results as well. And of course, gesso is not exactly the replacement for the white acrylic paint, because it doesn't have enough pigment to be replacement for the paint. But for the beginner, if you have to save your money, if you buy white gesso in good quality, you can wait with buying acrylic paint in white for some time. Okay, it's going to be okay. And of course, I'm not going to use gesso in front of you now, because I will post a link to the video on different kinds of gesso in the under the video later, so you can go there as well. So check that video. But believe me, this is a must-have. And if you are into the dark projects, you should also get black gesso, or at least you should get very thick, very matte acrylic paint. But black gesso is going to be cheaper than your acrylic paint, so I would recommend getting black gesso. Black gesso is for those of you who really like to have this dramatic look when you have shine on the darker background, so dark shadows and then lights on the top. So this is more on the grungy side, and if you feel this is your destiny and this is what you would like to do, black gesso is on your list on the very top next to the white gesso. That is one of the most important things that you need when you want to work on this darker effects. Okay, it's going to be exactly the same thing as the white primer. I just painted this side so you can see this is completely matte. It looks like chalkboard, in fact, and this is going to be the base for a lot of projects that are in a completely different style. For example, I was showing you that one. Of course, you need black color to get it, you know, to get that deeper part visible. So these are the classes I made for my patrons, and it was all done step by step for them so they could see how everything was done. And they can say gesso is like one of the first things you have to apply on your project. It is giving you the nice surface to work on. You can work on the paper, but you start with your gesso. You can work on the fabric, but you start with your gesso. You have all these embellishments in front of you, so you have to put the gesso so you can paint them easily and you can remove the colors that you don't like. You can't do dimensional mixed media without gesso. Second choice from my list. So we have black and white gesso. I know this is more extravagant because usually you would expect just one, but really I mean it. Second choice is some kind of heavy gel medium. And if you want to minimize your expenses, you can buy just one kind as a starting point, and that may be 3D gloss or 3D matte gel. It doesn't matter, gloss or matte, whatever is available, but this is something that is going to be heavy enough to hold your elements, and it's going to be thick enough to work as a paste with the stencils or textures, and at the same time you may use it as a base for creating special effects. Again, there's going to be a link to the video about gel mediums, and you will see basic techniques with that. That is going to be super important thing. And I will show you why it is so important now, but there will be people asking, okay, this is 3D gloss gel, why not modeling paste? Okay. We are making the kit for the very beginner. So from the beginner's point of view and the way you are able to use your product, gel medium is more versatile than modeling paste. Modeling paste is white. And of course, if it's right brand, it's also going to be sticky and flexible. The same with the gel, it's going to be sticky and flexible. But white versus clear. Clear is going to give you more options. You can add the color into it, you can mix it with something. So from the beginner's point of view, when you need to spend money in a wise way, I would always say buy the gel, and modeling paste you can save for the later buy. Okay? So if you buy the 3D gel or heavy gel, different brands call it differently. The key is the consistency is similar to the, let's say, toothpaste. See? It's like toothpaste. Something like that, right? It means you can use it for spreading. So you can use it as a paste, transparent paste to work with your stencil. So this is one use. Second thing is, this stuff is going to be your ultimate glue. If you buy Art Basics brand, it's very strong mixed media glue. So you have it already, you don't have to buy another one. That's quite okay with the brands such as Golden, Liquitex, and Amsterdam, but they are not as strong glues. So you can use that for gluing the elements down. So you take your embellishments and you can create your dimension. So this is the answer to the question, what do you use for, this is the big jar, 3D gloss gel. What do you use for gluing elements on your project? You can use 3D gel or other stuff which is later by. So you can see this is something which is quite easy to use and it does sit in place right away. Okay? That is something that is not just the glue, it's not just the texture paste to play with. It's also base for mixing the stuff. And we're just still talking about saving money. Okay, you are a beginner, we think from that point of view. So you would like to get best value for money possible. And I would say if you get this kind of jar of 3D gel, matte or gloss, you have potentially glue, 3D paste, and the base to create specialty pastes. So let's say you have already in your stash a stencil, right? So first of all, you glued your elements, then you are using that to create texture. It's going to be transparent, so, you know, if it's going to be painted anyway, nobody knows what was the color of it. So, you know, it's a double plus if you like transparent effects. We have that covered. And the third thing, you can make custom mixes. In the video about gels, I'm showing that, but just to give you the idea, if you buy the jar of the 3D gel and you have things at home such as glitter, I guess some of you may have glitter, or you may have mica powder. You already have ingredients to create special effect paste. So I always show that in my classes, but this is so easy. You take a container, right? A little bit, because we don't want to make this too complicated now. You take the glitter, let's say we have blue glitter, very pretty. And you want to create a little bit of the glitter paste. So you mix these with each other. I'm just looking for the small palette knife. So this is easier. And instead of buying a jar of the glitter paste and spending money for maybe 100 milliliters of the blue glitter paste, you have glitter paste right away. And these little things usually come in multi-packs and they're quite cheap. So you get that covered already, right? If it's not convincing you, why do you need gel medium, which is heavy? I can't really find any other reason. This is everything. This product is base of what you can see here on the project. I could really use that only and gesso and some paint, and I would make so many versions of the projects that would be just, you know, honestly mind-blowing. So these products, so the gesso and 3D gel, are going to be very useful for people who are interested in the dimensional look. If you are very much into flat, you will use it a little bit less. You probably won't stick all that stuff on the top. You'll be just doing textures and playing with the stencil. So it is useful for you, but you probably won't use it as a glue as much. Okay, so that would be only the disclaimer here, that I'm showing you the ideas that are base of the dimensional look. I hope that makes sense. Also, this is water-based, so as long as it is wet, you can remove the items and put them in the other place. This is a great option, okay? So far, you put into your basket 2 kinds of gesso, white and black, and 3D gloss gel or 3D matte gel, whichever is available. It's not a huge difference at the very beginning if you buy this one or that one. Matte is going to be a little bit more dull when it comes to shiny ingredients you put inside. And glossy is going to give you like more like a varnish, shiny varnish finish. Pick the one that you feel is better for you, or pick the one that is available in the shop, okay? I hope that makes sense. I'm just cleaning off the 3D gel so I can reuse this later. I'm frugal, see? I just clean it off and it will be fine. So this is of course going to dry completely transparent, and this glitter is going to be very visible. This is also one of the great things about transparent mediums. They give you many options. So I'm just going to clean it off as well. And we're going to talk about art medium number 3. What can I say? 3, because let's say black and white gesso is 1, okay? And this is number 3. This is soft gel. So it's a cousin of the 3D gel. So this is thick like toothpaste, while this one is liquid. It's similar to Mod Podge or fluid medium. This is transparent, very easy to spread art medium. I will show you the difference here. This one is, you can see it's going flat right away. Super easy to spread with the brush. And this one is going to be your medium that is going to stick paper to paper, chipboard. It's going to be your varnish. It's going to be your transfer medium, and it's going to be your small embellishment glue. And again, depending on the brand, the stickiness of that product is different. I mentioned that soft gel that I made for Art Basic is extremely sticky. And if you use it ever in your life, you will know that soon your fingers are going to stick together. This is all done on purpose because I like multi-purpose products. So I don't want to buy glue while I have a product which is already sticky. So to show you what this product does, I will show you, for example, this project. Let me show you which one. Ah! Oh. See? All these little textures that maybe I will show you with the brush, so it's going to be not my finger. All these little glittery things, all these little textures, all these extra touches, such as microbeads or skeins, or if you have any kind of flakes, all that you can easily glue with the soft gel. So these are for finishing touches as well. So you can just dab it in the selected place and then sprinkle on the top and dry. And that is one of great uses. The second very important one is to stick things to each other. So, and this project, you can see there's tissue paper in the background. And that is glued with the soft gel, matte or gloss, it doesn't matter. All these paper pieces that you can see, you can stick it with the soft gel. And I wouldn't save money here as well. I think it's better to have good portion of the soft gel and good portion of the 3D gel. So you can easily switch between flat gluing, liquid gluing, spreading easily, varnishing, and making dimensional and heavy effects. So you don't have to dilute this one to make your brush go smoothly, because the purpose of that is to be solid. So if I need to pick the most important art mediums to start, these will be these 4: black gesso, white gesso, 3D gel, and soft gel. This is like must have, okay? And we will go from there. And I will see if you have any questions so far. Hydration. Okay, I think you are with me so far. Have you got any doubts so far with this? These 4, this is life, mixed media life. How long before 3D gel dries? And depends on the weather. And of course, usually it takes from 15 minutes in dry California to 1 hour in super humid, wet North Australia. And that is true, but all these items were designed to work with the hair dryer or the heat gun. So you don't have to rely on natural drying. So if you're planning to make the project, you can just go and apply the product and dry it with the heat gun or the hair dryer. So it's all depending on the natural situation, of course. And it's, I would say it dries quite fast, honestly. This is the next thing that I like about them. They are quite fast drying. Also, I'm showing you the tubes because it's more handy, but just to remind you, these come in the usual size of 250 milliliters. So that is the 8.5 ounce and 2 versions. So the matte or gloss. And honestly, buy just 1 version. Don't buy 2 when you're a beginner. You don't need it. The same about Gesso. Gesso comes in 250 milliliters jars and you can get it. It's more convenient, of course. These are great for classes or when you want to try something. They're very good solution. And for those of you who are just trying things, you don't use a lot of art mediums because this is just like your sidekick. Side gig, not kick. You don't really have to have big ones, buy the small. Okay, we have the art mediums. Now let's talk about color. Okay. Yeah, in Panama it may be quite of humid. So once we have the art mediums covered, so we have stuff to glue this project with, and we have the primer so we can prepare the colors. Now it will be the choice of what kind of colors to buy. And again, I'm not going to tell you to buy everything. I know this is kind of silly because I am product designer, so I should selling you everything. But honestly, no. If you are a beginner, invest your money in a wise way. So you need to buy acrylic paint. And I'm showing you 3 kinds of acrylic paint. And they are kind of a representation of what is on the market. And there will be some paints which are in between, and you just have to make your decisions, right? So if you want to buy color, try to buy paint which is going to do the most for you, okay? So I will show you what is happening with all these 3, okay? Impasto is very thick and matte paint. This is very good choice when you do a lot of matte finishes or you would like to have completely covering effects. It is a little bit thick because it's supposed to give you texture as well if you want. Liquid acrylic is fluid, transparent and glossy, so it's opposite side of the scale to Impasto, something completely different. And in the middle there is also metallic paint. This is metallic example, and this one is paint with a bit of shimmer in it. Impasto is a like heavy body paint. Exactly, it's extremely heavy body paint. So I have the surface here to show you what happens. Let's say you are a beginner and you need to buy this month 1 kind of paint only, and you would like to make projects both on the dark and the light surface. You have a plan. You want to make 1 canvas with the white gesso and the bright colors, and 1 canvas with the dark and mysterious. So you have to buy your first paints. And I will show you what happens, okay? So you will see why I recommend what I recommend. This is Impasto, okay? You can see it's really, again, like toothpaste, very thick. This is going to give you the same coverage on the white and on the black. You can repaint everything. You can take black paint and then paint it with white on the top, it's going to cover. This is going to be almost like gesso in color. So you can use that, of course. Liquid acrylic, on the other hand, it's going to be transparent, okay? I'm taking another brush because apparently cleaning takes too long. And you can see what happens. It doesn't give you too much on the black surface. It's a little bit higher level skill to use these in the combination with the dark colors. I wouldn't recommend this paint as a first buy. This may be confusing. This may be a little bit more complicated. Finally, metallic paint. Again, color visible on both black and white, and with the effect of the metallic finish. It's glossy, but it's also metallic. So if I was a beginner and I planned to make project that is going to be one on the light surface and one on the dark surface, I would first buy metallic paints. And this is because you can use them in more than one way. Of course, all of them you can, but it's going to give you equally saturated and nice results no matter which surface you're going to work on. It's going to give you this dramatic, shimmery look on the black surface, and it's going to give you this colorful effect on the white surface. And it's not going to be too hard to manage. First of all, you can just paint it as it is, but also you can water it down and then you can make it flow. And this is something that is very important, and that works with every kind of acrylic. But if you want to spend your money and you want to buy your first set of paints, I would buy metallics, or metallics and maybe 2-3 colors of impasto as a matte paint to start with. Liquid acrylics are brilliant and they are one of the best products I ever made, but they need a little bit more of the attention and a little bit more of thinking. So as a beginner, it's much easier to play with the shimmery metallic paint and get really pretty results, and maybe 1 or 2 colors of impasto. I would say this is like a buy that you have to make decision on. How many paints? I think you need to start with 6 colors minimum, right? You need to start with something that is going to give you some color palette to work with. So probably you will need some red, some blue, some brown, some green, some purple, maybe yellow, or something that is going to talk, speak your language, something which is yours. Don't buy 3 shades of blue. You just need 1. Remember, they mix with each other, so you can easily create different tones just playing with what you have. Okay? So I hope that makes some sense. Of course, you can dilute the Impasto paint as well, if you have that question, but this is going to be matte finish. It's going to behave like chalk, right? So this is not going to give you this shimmery, nice effect on the black surfaces. It's going to be more like, flat paint. If you like that effect, you can get also Impasto paint as a starter. And I would say get your metallics first and then go from there. It's going to give you some fun to play, and it's going to be great way to use both white and black gesso. Liquid acrylics, I would leave it as a later buy. And when it comes to metallics, I would buy, I would say 6 colors and then 1 or 2 neutrals. And by neutrals, I mean something like copper or gold, which is going to give you this vintage steampunk feeling. Pearl white, that is going to be a really good option if you would like to make some highlights. I don't make oil pastel colors and I don't make canvas boards. These are just general items I have, but you may use that. I will mention the oil pastels in a moment. So I would get 5-6 colors and some kind of neutrals, maybe silver, right? So that makes sense. So you have something to highlight with. And the next important buy is ingredients. So something you can mix into your paint or you can sprinkle on the top of your project. And ingredients may be things such as mica powders. These are really good things because they can replace a lot of your metallic paints as well. If you mix it with soft gel, you will have a bit of metallic paint you can use for highlights, for example. So if you want to save your money, you can just buy really unusual, beautiful colors of the metallics and then get silver and gold and pearl in the powders, and they're going to do the job for you. I hope that makes sense. So this is pearl mica powder. And now I'm covered in mica. So that is something that you can put into your gel, 3D gel, to make a paste. Again, check the link to the video. I will post later in the under the live stream. Or you can put it into soft gel to create metallic paint. And usually this is good value for money. They come in the sets, so you can get a lot of colors in one set, which is like 6 bottles, and they really go a long way. Or they can come in big buckets like that as well. So again, saving your, saving your money. Second good thing, microbeads or beads of different kinds. These are great for mixing inside to make texture paste or to sprinkle on the top, as I mentioned before. Usually, again, you can get them cheaply from different brands. They are on the market. Sometimes you can buy large containers easily and you can just play with, these effects as sprinkle on the top or as a paste. Glitters. I'm sure you may get some glitters easily in the sets, and you can get them really in different color palettes, and that is going to be like extra you can use in your projects easily. So I would say your good investment is to buy 2 kinds of gesso, 3D gel, soft gel, a bit of metallic paint, maybe 1 or 2 of impasto, and some ingredients. And that would keep you set for most of the projects. That would be like the minimum kit to start, and you can go really far with these, and you can really create a lot of different effects. I would save money on other things. I would buy them later. If you really want to add something on the top of that, I would put some money into pencils. So colored pencils, because sometimes you would like to add some drawing and you would like to get a nice effect. This is Faber-Castell. There are many brands on the market. What is really cool, you can buy watercolors. So these are watercolor pencils, which means once you use them, you can use them as a pencil, but you can use them with water, and they're going to react like watercolors. So again, it's 2-in-1. So getting this kind of product is a good investment as well, especially if you're into art journaling. That is something that is a very good investment, and you can use it many times. You can use them for adding colors to your projects in many funny ways. You can play with brushes or you can play with them directly. So that will be my first buy. And before we'll go to the second buy, I will mention tools as well. It's good to have a sprayer bottle, any kind. It may be it may be a bottle like you save, you know, something that you saved from your cosmetic, you know, from your cosmetic pouch, or just some kind of, you know, water sprayer that is nicely working. It's good to have a set of decent brushes, something like a flat brush and something like medium-sized brush, and then some smaller ones as well. I have one set that I really like. This is the one that I made for Prima, and they're all the sizes I keep using all the time. There's also video on the brushes, just in case if you would like to learn that. And I just mentioned heat gun or the hair dryer, and that is going to be great starter set. Yeah, recycled bottles work really well if you have something on hand. Like this is recycled bottle. I had my tonic in it and it works really nice. That's the fine mist bottle. Okay. Have you got any questions for this set of products? Have you got any second thoughts? Is there anything that I should maybe explain? Why this choice instead of the others? Why do I prefer, for the beginners, I would recommend this metallics, or I would recommend this medium? Was that all clear? Like, should I give you maybe any more insight into that? Tube colors. And this is something I can't help you with. Because if I'm going to tell you, you should get this blue, this green, you may hate these colors. Honestly, I have no idea what is your color choice. I will recommend get a blue, get red, get brown, get a shade of pink maybe, or purple. You have to make decisions, right? Remember, the colors mix with each other. That is something that I can't tell you this paint is going to make miracles for you, because this may not be your natural choice. Kind of natural thing is we're going to have the primary colors, so red, blue, yellow, but then of course turquoise is like the color which keeps selling all the time, and if you're into vintage projects, you're going to get some brown. So that is my way of thinking. I can't tell you which color to buy, because it is not going to be my project, it's going to be your project. Yeah, remember about the highlighting colors. This is, I can really assure you it's important. So the highlighting colors are going to be pearl or gold or copper, just to show you the examples, silver, something like this, right? These are good highlighters. I'm looking for the gold, but I can't see gold at this point now. Oh, let's say this one is a gold. Okay? Something from this palette. This is always a good choice because it's neutral white. So that is helping. And what would be the products that they can wait for later? One more thing. If you do a lot of stamping and a lot of effects, if you would like to buy your ink, get permanent ink as a first step. Okay, get the permanent one, because on the art mediums you will need to make sure these are not going to bleed. So StazOn or archival ink, something which is going to be working with these. Permanent is going to be better choice. It's safer. Okay, and now I mentioned the tools. I will show you what would be my my suggestion for the stencils. Yeah, buy colors you love and then some basic primary colors. Exactly. Don't buy everything. You don't need it. Remember, there are many shades of pink, and you only need one to start with. The same with the brown, you only need one. So if you want to make some choices about your tools, I think I will try to find a good surface to show you the pattern, because my maybe this one. I would suggest something simple. For example, buy a pattern that goes on any kind of project. For example, bubble, or chevron, or harlequin, or something very symmetrical and simple, such as huge punchinella. Okay? That would be something that you may use in any style of the project. It is masculine, or it is feminine, it is more grungy, or it is something which is going to be very clean and simple. These kind of designs, which are geometrical and very generic pattern, are going to work for everything. So they are going to be your first stencils, and I'm sure you're going to use them many times. So that is something that you may be sure you're going to use more than once. Substrate. I don't recommend the substrate, and I will tell you why in a moment, okay? So this is the part when we save the money. So you can buy generic pattern, something geometrical, for example, this or this. If you are more into vintage, you may buy one that is going to be something like wallpaper, some kind of damask pattern, something just going to look more, elegant and flourishy for this purpose. So this is an example of one, but something more elegant, and one is enough to start with. When you have something geometrical, that may be another good choice, if that speaks your language, of course, because some people don't feel like vintage damasks and wallpaper designs, okay? But that may be a good choice as a beginner, okay? Another good choice, some kind of text. People usually like texts. That is a good choice for the beginner, because you can, again, use it in many projects. This is, of course, kind of vintage-looking text, but that is going to be better choice than very very specialized kind of design that is going to work only with few projects. This is more generic pattern, I would say. There are really nice stencils with the handwritten patterns, for example, very romantic looking. It's something that you can reuse over and over again, okay? So that makes sense. Another that makes sense is something grungy, for example, like net pattern. That makes something that is give you a little bit more masculine, more grungy look, something that is going to be like brick wall, maybe, net, some kind of stones that you can imitate the wall. That is good choice for a beginner as well, because it's multi-purpose. You can use it many times. Thank you very much. Oh, I got the smiley face. Thank you, thank you. That is so kind of you. Thank you for sponsoring. Oh, I got a tip. If you're really into feminine, into vintage patterns, you can also consider lace, like one of the lacy patterns. But again, don't buy more than 2-3 stencils at once. First, try them a little bit and then see if you really like stenciling. The thing is, once you have a stencil, you can use many art mediums. You can use the dimensional gel to create dimensional effect. You can mix it with mica powder or paint to create metallic effect, and then you get result like this. You can mix mica powder into your gel and you will get colorful metallic paste. That makes sense, I think. You can create glitter paste and use it with the stencil, or you can simply use the paint, take the brush, especially this kind of brush, and just apply the paint through it, and then you're going to have lovely looking pattern. So I would say 2-3 stencils as a beginning stage, it's going to be absolutely enough. Don't buy too much. First, use it. If you're wondering how to use paint with the stencil, I will just show you the easy way. You can use a sponge, you can use the brush, doesn't matter. Okay? You take a bit. I put the finger in the paint. You make sure it is quite dry on the brush, and then you can go. And of course you have to clean the stencil quite quickly after. But you get nice designs like this. And of course, the more complicated pattern, the harder it is going to be get those clean results. The more simple it is going to be easier. So also remember, if you are not very familiar with the tools, with the techniques, try to get less detailed and more detailed designs. Okay? So that is going to be another advice. So now I will put it in the water so I don't have to clean it later. By the way, I don't want to soak it too much. Thank you, Teddy. I got a cute dog. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And let's talk how to save the money. I told you about there are some things you should not skip. Like I wouldn't skip good quality mediums, because good glue, good gesso, decent quality mediums, they are going to help you get a good result. I would not save money on buying few nice quality brushes, because they're important for a lot of techniques. And if you don't have a good brush, your work may look messy and you will be unhappy. And I wouldn't save product on buying paint. So I wouldn't save money on buying paint. You need to get some nice paint color selection so you can create different color palettes. So if you really want to spend money maybe on only that many colors, buy a little bit first month, then once you use them, buy next month, and this way it is going to be easy to build the colors, the color palette at home. Next thing, I wouldn't really save money on things that you absolutely love, like you really see something and you really want to have it. Don't kill yourself. You can buy one thing which is not so necessary as well, just between me and you, but try to keep yourself on the track. Okay, so stencils are important, tools are important. What is not so important? First of all, surfaces are not so important. So the substrates, as you used one of the fancy words that I learned only a few years after I started mixed media. You don't have to buy canvases. You don't have to buy expensive backgrounds. You can work on anything. If you if you'd like to create a project, you can do it on the cardboard. You can do it on the wooden plank. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. A lot of mixed media is about altering items. This is a tin. You can get it on the free market for almost nothing. You can create art inside. Save your money on buying art journals. Maybe buy one, just one art journal that you like. Save money on buying canvases unless they're very cheap. Get something that is from almost for nothing, right? You can get that for, I get it for free because it is from my shed, but I'm sure you can find solutions like this. Cardboard works really well. Metal tin works really well. Bottle works really well. It may be anything. You don't have to have specialty background. And that is one of the things that you can save money on. Second, don't buy complicated products. For example, don't buy specialty pastes, don't buy things such as, for example, unicorn paste. This is not a beginner's item. It is beautiful, but it is already like higher level. You can save that money and put it into your acrylic paints, and it's going to be better investment because you will have more colors to play with than having special paste with glitter. You can make your paste with glitter first. You don't have to buy the whole jar, okay? Second example, you don't have to buy things which are such as crackle, or you don't really have to buy texture paste unless you really would like to start playing with textures, because you can make your own texture paste using 3D gel. You can put stuff inside and make it, but if you really have to, buy, again, basic one. Buy something that is multi-purpose. This is paste which is white sand, which means it has white sand in the transparent gel, right? It's all, again, it's sand in a paste. You can add color to it using your acrylic paint, so your metallic ones. You can add glitter to it. You can add mica powder to it. If you have some other paints, you can mix them with each other, and then you will see if texture paste is your thing, then you will kinds of it. This is not a first need item. It's easy to replace, but you can play with that. Another thing that you can save your money on, it's embellishments. You can save money on embellishments. I know buying fancy, pretty sets. Whoop! I did something. Uh-oh. We froze. For a moment. Ah! Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, I just switched to a different connection. And if something goes wrong, thank you. Okay, I panicked because it just disappeared. Ooh, we disappeared for a moment. So hopefully now we can continue. And now, you can save money on the embellishments, right? You have that beautiful packages. That is something that people usually like to see, and they absolutely are wonderful, and they're great when you make jewelry or you make some special projects when you would like to showcase, for example, a beautiful flower and you would like to showcase the leaves and so on. But these are second need items. You don't need to have them right away, because you can very easily make projects using rubbish stuff you buy on the flea market, something that you get easily for very low price. You can get it from your friends. You can find it in the containers on your attic. And that is something that you can easily, just save money on. Look through your stash, look through your garage, look through your kitchen. Just, find things. These are bobbins from your sewing machine, right? These are parts from your alarm clock. These are cogs that are just, quite nice items. Buttons. You can make beautiful art with buttons. I will just show you an example. Kocur, mamy na YouTubie jakiś najazd Hindusów, którzy są denerwujący. Nic się chyba nie dzieje na Facebooku. Weź ich wywalaj. Wejdź na YouTube i na YouTubie ich... Na telefonie, kochanie. Będziesz widział. Okay, sorry, just a moment. Okay, so you can see this artwork, which is one of my very old projects. That is mostly done with buttons, right? A lot of texture, a padlock, and all these things here, they are found objects. You don't really need to get expensive embellishments as a first thing. You can easily get things which are cheap on the flea market, like kind of thing that is, you know, basically rubbish, or like cheap kind of jewelry that we buy sometimes for one thing. And that is a great way of saving money. So save money on the surface, save money on the embellishments. You don't have to do that. Again, I design embellishments, but honestly, if I want to encourage you to buy something, invest your money in the tools and good quality art mediums and paint. Next thing, if you really want to buy something to make, you can make embellishments yourself, okay? You can invest maybe in the molds. In molds are a good example because they help you recreate items. This is one of the molds I made. So if you have resin or paper clay or Fimo, whatever you would like to use, you can do some research. There's a video on that as well. You can create these items many times. So this is better investment than maybe 2 packages of the metal embellishments. So that is that is one thing. And if you really know that what you like, you may buy a set of, for example, embellishments, which will be cogs and gears. You can buy a set with flowers. You can buy a set with maybe butterflies. That is saving money in the long run, okay? So if you're a beginner and you really like dimensional effects, I highly recommend flea market, asking your grandma, asking your husband, checking with your friends and neighbors. Maybe they have things that they don't want to use anymore, okay? Also, cheaper solution is usually buying chipboards as well. Just to show you some examples, chipboards can be really nice embellishments, and they are not as good for mixed media as real objects because they are a little bit more flimsy, and if you use a lot of water, in the end, they are not so strong. But for some really fancy designs, chipboard is cheaper solution. But anyway, I would say consider. I really recommend using leftovers, and this is how I develop my style. I was using things from the flea market mostly. I hope that makes sense. And honestly, I should be telling you to buy all of my things, but we're talking about beginners and putting your toes in the water. So here are my, insights and my ideas and how I made it worked for me. When I was a beginner, there was nobody to ask these questions to. I had to figure it out, and we had to discuss things like that with my friends. And I have already made a lot of mistakes myself, so you don't have to repeat them. So if I tell you, save your money and buy the art mediums instead of embellishments, believe me, this is important, okay? Now, another thing that you may be tempted to buy, I told you, modeling paste, it's a later buy. You can buy it in the next few months once you decide you want to have white flexible paste. It's really great art medium, very sticky. You can use it for gluing, but it is not the first one. And now you probably will be surprised, but this is not a first buy as well. Waxes are great, but they are not for beginners projects. And I will tell you why. This is finishing touch. Like, this is the item you use for finishing touches. And it's absolutely user-friendly. It's wonderful. It's addictive. People love it. But you can create similar look without them, and you don't have to use them to create mixed media, okay? You don't have to use them to create mixed media. You can get the look that looks like waxes without waxes. This is look of the waxes without waxes. This is done with acrylic paints. And if you save your money, if you are the first buyer, if it's your very beginning, don't buy waxes, buy acrylic paints because they give you more technique options comparing to waxes. And if you have acrylic paints and you really have to try and you can't live without trying wax in your life, which I understand, buy colors in the acrylic paint and buy the highlights in the waxes, okay? So you can buy silver, white pearl, I'm not sure where it is, but you know, white pearl and some kind of gold, and that's it. You can inhale them, but please don't blame me if you will feel strange after that. So I'm just saying, honestly, you can replace this look with acrylics. So if you have to decide what to buy, acrylic paint in metallic or the wax, this is going to give you more opportunities, okay? So I'm saying this is going to be better investment. These are great and they go really long way, but you can't make them flow like you can do with acrylic paints. You can't get the watercolor look with the waxes. You can only brush them and get the results that you like so much. So for example of the waxes, right? This is waxes on the top of the Impasto paints. It's not so different if you really want to compare to the acrylic paints. If I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know which one is which one. This is just a matter of application, the way you play with them. This is your personal preference. But if we make a short list for the beginner, I would put metallic paint on that list and I would remove the wax. I hope you can understand my point of view. Yeah, there are many alternatives, and this is true. Debbie is pointing out things that I don't feel that I should be pushing you into the things that I make, because all these, they come in many brands. I mentioned that mine are more sticky than other brands for a reason, but if you have it at home from other brand, use it up first. And then if you really want to support me, you can try my brand instead. But this is how I feel it is fair. We are talking about beginners, so people who really need to try, okay? Also, how to save money? Don't buy sprays. I'm not saying about this brand. This brand is brilliant. I'm just saying don't buy the spray. You can save your money at the very beginning, because you can use spray water in the bottle and you can put color inside as well, or you can simply apply the paint and spray it on the top. You don't have to have sprays to get spray-like looking effects. Save it for the later buy, once you know that spraying is your life and this is absolutely what you love. This is not a must-have for the beginner. This is more complicated, more sophisticated thing, more specialized product. So let's say it's like not, again, toes deep. I would say it's more like knees or even higher, okay? If you really want to expand, you can play with things such as pigments. Pigments, I've got brusho or infusions. They are water-reacting powders. And you can use them to put them in the water and make sprays. They're not going to be permanent, but it's kind of solution. They react with water So they give you more opportunities than using, for example, just the sprays by themselves. So just to show you, this is Brusho and this is Infusion. There's also similar product from Lindy's, which unfortunately I don't have because I stopped buying at some point, but I feel guilty because I would love to try it. See? So you can use these and you can easily put these into the paste as well to create colorful gel. So you will have 3D gloss gel with this. Better investment than buying already mixed product, I think. Okay, so if you want to expand in the future after a few months, maybe after 1 year, look at these. Or mica powders. They're not going to react, but they give you shimmer. You can combine these and you will have shimmery, colorful look. Yeah, magicals, exactly. That's what I mean. There are some brands on the market. I don't have the magicals that I wish I could show you. I've got Primary Elements from Luminart, so color art now. They are a mixture of mica and pigment. So kind of like 2-in-1 already. So you can see they're metallic. That is, again, expanding your stash, but in a smart way. So this is giving you a lot of options to play. That is such an, a good option. So you can check magicals from Lindy's as well. They're going to be good buy. Another good buy, maybe buying water reacting pastels. These are pastels, so you can get the pastel look, but they're also water soluble. So that means if you're more into flat projects, more into art journaling, they're going to give you, again, a watercolor look together with the pastel look. So let me show you how it works. So again, it is not too deep. This is like a 2nd or 3rd level, but this is the idea of expanding, okay? So let's say we take these. They look like oil pastels. So you can use them for creating nice marks in your journal. Of course, this is texture, so it looks funny. But at the same time, they react like watercolors. There are similar brands on the market doing this. There are Derwent art bars, which are a little bit harder. There are pre-art philosophy pastels. You can find similar group of the product. It's worth checking if you like this kind of look and you like watercolor effects. This is expansion in a way that may be really fun for you. Okay? So that would be my ideas of what you can do to expand your stash. Another expansion in the future, maybe buying some crackle paste, for example, white crackle or clear crackle, because this is the product which is not possible to create by yourself. You can't remix it. You have to buy because this is very delicate formula. So if you know that peeled paint effect or vintage crackle is your life and you have to do it, crackle is a product that you can't really create yourself. You have to buy the one, and that makes a lot of sense. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Sandra. You are so, oh my God, you are so nice people. Thank you, thank you. I do have some proper hearts. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. You are the best. So that, I would say, it's expansion. But also, let's talk about saving money. If you have a set of brushes and you're trying to save money at the first buy, you don't have to buy a lot of tools such as palette knives. There is a cheap set that is plastic and is very convenient. But in the worst case, you can use your credit card or medical card. Apparently, this is our old medical card. And this is going to work pretty well. And I would say, so you can replace it easily. I wouldn't say you can replace stencils so well or any of these art mediums. Sprayer bottle, it's kind of a must-have on the table. So you may source something easily. When it comes to embellishment, I gave you some ideas, and let me check on my checklist if I didn't forget anything important from that list. Gesso, gel, soft gel, metallic bunch of colors, yeah. Um, yeah, so that would be my product suggestions. So now we can talk a little bit about determining what you really need and what are your doubts, and how to make decisions on what to buy, because this is hard thing. So I can sit for a moment and switch to the right view again, and I will be able to answer your questions a little bit better now because I don't have to look at the table. Hello again. U nas nie ma kart medycznych, są tabliczki ogromne. Okay. So guys, I was trying to give you, oh, I got even hot from talking. So I was trying to give you the idea of the basic kit. If you or your art friend is starting with this set of products, so two kinds of gesso, two kinds of gel, basic acrylic paint such as metallics, maybe one or two matte paints, and then some ingredients to put inside. So set of mica powders, maybe set of microbeads, maybe set of glitters, you can conquer the world. If you also invest some money in the brushes, stencils, and then you're going to have some stash at home such as papers, you are going to be completely covered for plenty of projects. And I really have quite firm view on that because this is how I started my things, and I know that you don't really need so much to create really cool artwork. Thank you for the compliment on the dress. I love it as well. You tried Elmer's glue as a crackle medium, like it's better actually, so looking to be able to spend money elsewhere but still want the effect. Okay, we don't have Elmer's glue in Europe that much. It is hard to buy, but it's a very good hint for people who can get it. And what I really think is the way to predict what you would like to buy is, first of all, do some research. And please don't forget, this is your hobby, or this is something you start. You have to do some research first, like with any other skills. So for example, if you're going to start sailing, you have to learn basics of sailing, like how to make knots, what kind of sail goes where, right? The same thing here. You have to check the basics, watch some of the videos, make some notes, and learn what is really useful for you. So I can't recommend enough watching videos and watching live streams. Like here, you can ask the question directly to the person, so it is easier to get the answer right away. But also, I noticed people are very shy, and for example, I post new project on Instagram and I talk a little bit. It's not a bad thing to ask technical question about it, or to ask which color do you use, or what is the idea here, what products. It is all for you. If we post something, people whose job is to explain the product to you and to give you inspiration, asking them questions is okay. Maybe not direct messages, because it is a little bit too hard to manage. I don't answer a lot of direct messages because it's impossible. But commenting, it's very easy to find, especially on Facebook under the post, and I really easily find it on Instagram. Ask questions. Ask your people who you're watching, and they are going to give you this advice. Check the product lists and see which items are repeating over and over again. This is like the top of the top you need to buy. Don't be afraid and ask your friends. Many of your friends have some products at home already. They may have some kind of knowledge that you don't have. And what we did in the very beginning, when there were no classes in mixed media, because this is the time when I was starting, we had to experiment. So we were talking with our friends and exchanging knowledge, asking to try things, Thank you, Missy. Thank you so much. That is so kind. Like, oh, thank you. So I was asking my friends what they think. Um, uh, what is um, what is the choice they have if we can try it. Now it's not so easy to go to the crops and spend time together, but when it is, thank you, Missy, you're the best. But when it's the time you can socialize, you can go with your friends, ask them if you can try their stash, ask them if you can try this color, this paint. You try to learn how you like this consistency, how you like the color. This is how you exchange the knowledge. Maybe you know something they don't know, and this is absolutely natural and great. Uh, yeah, asking under post gives a chance that multiple people can get to know the answer, and they can even give you the answer from themselves as well. So you don't worry about that. Commenting is it's gold, honestly. It is the best way to learn. So if your friends can help you, use that. Don't be shy. You have the knowledge to share. You've got your stash to share. Exchange. Try the things. Buy things together. Sometimes it's a good idea to buy some tools or some more expensive things together so you can craft together or share from time to time. So it is easier to determine if you really need it or not. That is a great way. Tutorials, asking questions, sharing with your friends, asking your friends. And also another thing, going to the classes, especially if you want to try the style which is completely new for you, going to the class with the decent teacher again, so somebody who's got experience, not another beginner that may be a little bit tricky, somebody who really knows stuff, is going to save you a lot of money and a lot of thinking, because in the classroom you will going to use the product before buying. You can try to see if you like this way of application, if you understand what you do with that product, if you like these colors or you don't like colors. And that is great way of getting the idea of what you really need in your life, especially if the class is based on some more complicated products. It's better to learn, really. First learn, then buy, because it's very sad when you buy quite expensive set of something, maybe the most beautiful sparkly paints, and you have no idea what they do except they sparkle. But they may do a lot of magic, but you don't have the knowledge, and you're just going to put them on the shelf, and then they will sadly dry up because you will never use them, maybe one time. This is not the right way. If you have something, explore it. If you bought gel medium, watch videos about gel medium. Try to see what you can do with it. There's so many ways of using products, okay? So this is important. Also, classes, yes, I will mention that. The things that you have, they have they really have a lot of uses if you're going to look for that information. When I was asking the question on Facebook, I realized a lot of people repeated the same questions, which were how to use the product, what to do with the product, which means they didn't do the research. They never really didn't find answers to these questions. However, I know they exist already. So it means a bit of digging may give you the answers quite quickly, or asking somebody is going to point you into the right direction. There's no need to be shy. Taking classes both online and in person has a lot of advantages. I really love in person because you can really touch with your hands without commitment to buy the product. Of course, it is a little bit harder now, but in the future, if you have a chance and you would like to get the knowledge, don't hesitate. Go to a class, check the person you are going to as well. Ask some friends, maybe somebody was with that teacher already. And it's going to be, you know, a good choice. So you will have good time with your friends, hopefully, and learning at the same time, trying new things, and then you get solid knowledge. Hello, hello. And second thing, watch tutorials and watch videos. You're going to see plenty of uses. However, um, again, try to go to the good sources, because there are some people who make videos without really explaining why they do things. They just show you the project and that's it. It's not wasting your time, but it needs a little bit more of the insight and knowledge. Try to find these ones that explain why do you things, what is the product for. And one of the important thing is as well, I guess, try to buy the products which are not maybe top shelf, but good quality, because you don't want to have this pitfall of using the product which is just problematic by itself, hard to use, so you feel discouraged because you think it's your fault. Better quality is going to make your life easier, and in fact you may use less product to get the same results instead of buying tons of the cheaper one, because it's not working, it's going to waste. So is there a list of your design team members so I can follow them? Of course there is. If you go to finnabair.com, which is my website, then there are all the names and faces of the design team members, and they are going to be linked to their personal accounts as well, so you can go from there. Also on YouTube there is Finnabair Art Files channel, where all the videos from design team members go, so you can follow this way. And you may see 2 video tutorials per week from my design team members. They're absolutely talented people and they make unique projects, so it's a great way of learning. And there are also a group of my brand ambassadors. They're also mentioned on the website in the tab called ambassadors. They're usually online teachers or in-person teachers, so the people who know the brand as well, they use it in their classes and presentations. I also recommend the brand ambassadors group. So that would be like the base of what I wanted you to know about the basic product kit. And I really want you to remember that it's not like a lot of product equals great project. So you can really have the best quality product, tons of stash, and still not be able to produce a nice project of your liking because you lack the skill. So the most important thing is, don't just buy, use it, okay? If you buy a jar of gel, try to explore the possibilities of it. Use it, play with it, experiment, put the stuff in it, mix it, try to paint over it, try to stamp with it, see what it does. The same, if you are not so sure what you bought, Google what that is and see what people say you can do with that. So you put your products into use, so you will get experience, and this is going to give you the good background to go to the next levels, and then you can feel more confident and you can expand your stash with more specialty products. You will know what is really important for you, because maybe you can't live without good stash of the glitter paste. That's fair enough, absolutely. That's, you know, each to their own. They just need to have it, that's fine. I have it, I use it. But the thing is, if you have it, use it. And the most important thing is try to explore what they can do, because there are different brands on the market and they produce very similar range of products, and the quality differs depending on the brand, and the specification of the products depends on the brand as well. So for example, if you get acrylic paint, there are different kinds of acrylic paint, and also between different brands they will have different ranges. So try to read the descriptions so you will understand, do you need to buy that, or maybe you have it already at home in different brand. Don't overbuy because you may have it. Research. For example, Impasto Paint is matte, thick, heavy body paint, right? So if you do have a lot of heavy body paint at home, you don't need to buy Impasto unless you finally run out of the color you want to buy, and then makes sense. Uh, Gel medium, it's a little bit more tricky question here, because depending on the brand you have different thickness and different stickiness as well. So I know there are some brands which are completely not sticky, because the purpose was to create texture only. They didn't think about using that as an adhesive watch, which is important for me, because in my projects, really, you have to stick the stuff and it has to stay there forever. And here we come back again to the question that I get all the time. Why do you glue the stuff with gel medium? Because we formulated gel medium in this way that is both texture and transparent glue. So you do things at one time. And what that means, you don't really have to buy two separate products while one works really well. And that puts me on another extra buy you may do in the second or third step. If you are one of these people who can't keep their project flat, like me, and you really want to have that dry fast, and you really want all these elements to hold in place, instead of just having 3D gloss gel or 3D matte gel, which is thick but not super thick, then if you decide dimension is absolutely the sense of your life and you have to put 200 kilos of embellishments on the project like I do, then you buy heavy body gel. Heavy body gel is only in the jar, but this is like ultimate heavy duty glue. Oh, this is closed. But this is super, super thick. There's also a video on that when I talk about gels. This one is like one step higher, like this another step. This one is specialty product for ultimate dimension and super heavy texture gluing. So if you decide this is great and you really like gluing with this and making your life easier, but you would like to stick even heavier things and you want it dry faster because you love dimension, then you buy this, right? Start with the basic one and then go to specialty one if you really feel you want to stick, because maybe you are the person who likes just these small textures and you would like to have this colorful effect in your journal, and you don't need to use heavy body gel to stick paper to paper. You know what I mean? The range of the techniques is going to tell you which products you're going to need. If you feel like this is something that, you know, you explore your ideas and you see that you go towards flat projects, it's really interesting for you, heavy body gel is wasted money. Keep the simple one and get more of the soft gel. If you think that you're getting into dimension and you want to glue 3D and you want to do assemblage art, or you want to alter things, for example, you want to work in the objects or on the object, then heavy body is your gel, and then you need to buy it. Probably after a couple of months you will know. So that is what I mean. When you are a beginner, get basics and then expand from there. Don't go right away into deep water. Okay, I was talking a lot. Have you got any questions I would like to answer, and I need to answer? And let me know, do you think you will need a video about looking for inspiration as a beginner, or getting on this creative track as a beginner? Is there like anything that I should cover here? Because I know a lot of people get very discouraged because they think making projects is too complicated. They get the wrong mindset at the very beginning as well. And instead of being excited and happy and relaxed, they put too much pressure on themselves. So that is an important thing. Missy says, Anna tells you the truth and shares everything. She's trustworthy. Oh, thank you. These people I mentioned, so design team and ambassadors, they're going to have the deeper knowledge of the product because they use it for years. So they're good persons to ask questions to. Just saying, this is how it works. So again, if you feel you'd like to expand from this video to learn more, first of all, I will, maybe in 1 hour, I will post links to the YouTube videos about gesso, about oh, that's a good question, Amanda. Thank you. So I will post a link to a video about different kinds of gesso and what you can do with that. For example, there's information about clear gesso, which is another expansion product, which is really useful, but not maybe for the beginner. About different kinds of gel medium and modeling paste and other kinds of paste. So you will learn about these products I recommended as a basic set, so you can see what techniques you can do with them. Amanda asked, what is your favorite product that you created? That's a hard question, but one of my favorites is Heavy Body Gel, because this is the one that really helps me creating these dimensional projects. Second one is Metallic Paint, because it's giving you this beautiful shine and drama. Third one is wax, because it's so easy to use and it smells nice and it's great for people who are afraid of mixed media. And the last one is rust paste, because I think it's like my super special baby. This is very unique combination, and rust paste gives you wonderful effects that look like real rust, which I can only show you here, for example. This is also a class on Patreon, by the way, so just in case. You were the best teacher ever. Oh, Rihanna is so nice. Thank you. What is your favorite? By a different designer. My favorite product by a different designer. Let me check what I've got on the table and I keep using, because that would be the easiest way to describe. I'm just thinking. I don't know. There's one product I keep using over and over. And this is it. Holtz Scissors. I keep using them and I have like 5 pairs of these and I use them all the time because they help me cut everything and I cut a lot of metal and that helps. This is one of my favorite products. What is... Oh, okay, thank you, Michelle. I'm happy you enjoyed. You love the clear gesso. This is one of the best-selling products we created. So yes, there are sneak peeks. Ah, yeah, I forgot. So, my patrons remind me that that I should mention about Patreon classes. So, for those of you who would like to learn in the supportive way, ktoś wspominał o brudnych nożyczkach, to te są brudne. Just saying. Somebody wanted to see very dirty scissors. These are the very dirty ones. So Patreon is a subscription, and that means this is something I started when I stopped traveling for classes. What we do is every month I provide some benefits such as giveaways and shopping discounts and classes, and every month there are different classes, and they're either live stream classes, so I talk about something like I do talk to you, or I make projects for step by step in front of the people, or there's a video class. So this is always fresh, and every month there's something new coming, and this works like Netflix. You pay the subscription, you get in, and you get the content of your choice. So if you pick the lowest level, you only get occasional classes from time to time, not every month. You get some activities, you get some discounts. On the higher level, which is €10 per month, and it's not a big investment, if you think about the amount of the content, you get 2 classes per month minimum. And this is usually one live class. You can join on the same setup as we have here. And for example, you make collage, or it's about composition, or it is about making some special dimensional project, this kind of thing. And the second one is taped, so it is ready. It's usually about from 25 to 45 minutes long video with voiceover and subtitles, so you can join it at any time. And then on the higher level, there are more tiers, you know, that there are more things happening, for example, giveaways and so on. We go from €5, which is very basic, and there's not that much of the experience when it comes to the videos, to 100, which is like, whoa, super packed, and you get a lot of products, and you get a lot of special perks, such, for example, a project that I made myself. And depending what you choose, you get in and you have the access to the this month content, but also all the previous ones. So, which means if you opt in now, you will get the access for over 1 year of classes. And on the €10 level, that means you will have 24 online classes plus extra minimum in that price. And you can opt in and opt out anytime. You don't really have to stay for like minimum 3 months. No, it just goes, you can just go in for 1 month for a try if you like it, and then cancel. And if you decide it's not for you, you can go. That is kind of the fairest way I found to keep myself motivated and keep making new projects over and over, and also having some income that I can work from home. And so, you know, because I miss my in-person classes, this is like giving me this in-person feeling as well. And I absolutely love that feedback that I get from my patrons. And you get access to the Facebook group if you want. Very friendly atmosphere, a lot of great people. And this is something that you can just ask my patrons about. They will tell you. There are some of them here, and they are the best supporters ever. And thanks to them, I really am able to do what I do for everybody. So if you would like, you can check in the description of the video. The link to my Patreon is there. I highly recommend joining, even just to try for 1 month and to see how the things go. It works like a blog. So if you scroll on the Patreon website, which that part that belongs to me, you will see a lot of posts. And I'm planning to make like a book of contents as well soon. So yeah, there are parties as well. And during the parties, we make some games, and there are some giveaways. And my patrons get the new product sneak peeks before anybody else. So I can tell you that this is like a special thing that happens. And there's going to be new release coming, and my patrons are going to see it all before everybody. So that is, you know, that's a way of learning, but also it's a way of finding your art tribe. If you feel that you don't have friends nearby who have the same interest, we can be your friends. We can be your supportive group. We can be your international group of artists that's going to wait for you. And we really are open. But if you feel you don't want to talk to anyone, you just want to keep it, you know, your own pace, it's okay. You don't have to come to the live class and chat. You can just sit and watch and create at the same time. So I'm just checking the questions again. Yeah, that's also the thing, because English is not my first language, as you can hear. For those of you who are not super fluent English speakers, apparently my way of explaining is simple enough. It's very visual, of course, but also I don't use very complicated English. And that is, sometimes I feel it's a benefit, because you can understand better what I try to explain if you are not a native speaker. So the vocabulary is simplified, and this way I can reach to almost everybody who can understand basic English, I think. I can see that. Yeah, I'm so happy that you like it. Thank you. If you have special requests, what kind of content for beginners you would like to see in the future, I'm going to listen carefully. However, if you are a beginner and you would like to learn about composition or how to pick the colors, how to create the textures, I made these classes already for my patrons and they were done last year. They are live streams with tons of content. And if you can't wait for this and you would like to learn right away, scroll on the Patreon that was on the €10 level. You can learn all that. This series is called Mixed Media Essentials, and that is going to be perfect for you if you'd like to learn about basics of mixed media. And huge thank you to Cherise because she just joined me on Patreon. Congratulations. Thank you so much for signing up. I hope you're going to have a great experience. Oh, thank you. Annika says this is also good way of learning for her. And honestly, it works both ways. I enjoy that connection because it's a feedback I can base on my ideas and my thinking. It's very hard to create for people that when they don't tell you what they want or what kind of content they are interested. But the kind of smaller group that patrons are, it's easier to communicate, it's easier to find the ideas, and the support they give me also, it's both financially and just mental support, it's priceless. So thanks to their support, I can be here for you as well, because I don't have to sit there and do more designs. I can focus on artistic work and I can share more of my knowledge with everybody as well, because they give me the safe ground. And this is very, very important. And huge thanks to all of you who sponsored me today. These tips are also very appreciated, and I promise to put them into good use. I'm going to pay some bills or maybe buy some more art supplies. Thank you so much to Amanda, who just edited her Patreon account to hire one, and looks like I will have another VIP patron, so I'm absolutely. So yes, €10 per month is the art pal level on Patreon. Exactly. This is the one when most of the education starts. A lot of videos. So you get 2 videos per month, or live stream and video, or 2 videos, and all of the things which are previous. So thank you. Thank you so much. You are the best. And all of you watching that video, I did this for you because I want you to feel encouraged. I want you to feel that we are making these products not because it is just fun to have more stuff or we just want to sell more. Of course, selling is important, but they are designed to make your life easier. Thank you. Dreamworld Butterfly. Oh, you are so cute. Thank you. So I made them with the intention to make my education easier, so people will understand the whole mixed media stuff a little bit better. I try to simplify things and to make them the most versatile and the most useful for the techniques I specialize in. So if you really like the style that I do, you can rely on the products I make because they are basically done for this purpose. There are other brands on the market which are really good and they're going to do a great job for you. Try them out as well, of course. Thank you, Cherise. I just mentioned that I thank you in person for joining on €10 level. Enjoy the videos. There was one really nice this month already, so I hope you're going to have a great time. And I really want this to be useful for you. So if you have friends who are beginners, if you have people who would like to watch that video and learn, please share it with them. Don't be shy. This is my honest opinion on what you need to start. and take my experience. I've been there. I had to learn myself. Okay, this is something that I believe is going to get you covered for many months of experiments and creative fun. So, how often do you offer classes? When they can we find them listed? It was before the pandemic, I was traveling every month to different places, and every time when I was having my classes, I was posting them on my finnabair.com website on the left sidebar and in the tab that was called classes. Now everything changed, and it's very unlikely I will have a lot of classes coming in the next months because everything starts very slowly. We start with the classes in France, and that is hopefully going to happen. If there will be no disaster, I'm going to visit Tours, which is one of the destinations I go quite often to, because it was one of the first places I visited. And also Pascal, she is my personal friend and she's the best. So she does great job with her friends from the association to organize the classes. But I had another destinations on the list. I was planning to go to Britain, and I was going to go to Alsace to the mountains. And we had to postpone that because of the pandemic. So if any classes are showing and happening, I will be posting in my social media, and I will be gradually adding them to my website. But the best way is to follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. Instagram is always probably the best match because it doesn't filter as much as Facebook does. And the information is going to show there. I use my private profile on Facebook for that information as well. And also there is Finnabair Facebook page, which is more brand, and I'm going to post it there as well. So if you follow me on social media, most likely you will see information about the in-person classes coming, but I wouldn't hold my breath about this year. Because yes, Great Britain was on the list as well, but things happened. So this year is probably going to be quite slow. I think that France is the only class I'm going to go to. Maybe one more, maybe, but I don't see that coming yet because of the situation. And as soon as something happens, I'm going to make that on social media. I'm going to inform on social media, of course, and we will be advertising so you can find it. But following me on Instagram is the best way. It's my account is called Finnabair, and the second one, if you need more inspiration in your life from my design team and fans, there's Finnabair Studio, which is more like a brand account when we show a lot of projects from people who tag us, and we just load constant inspiration every day. Okay, so if you followed both things, perfect. So then you should be up to date with everything. Yes, thank you so much, Amanda. And it is great to have you here. Please don't forget to share this stream with your friends who may be beginners. I hope these tips are useful. Let me know what you think about this video. Was that answering your questions? And was that enough? And do you feel more confidence? What was the value of that video for you, and what should I do better? Okay. We will be there, Michelle. I know we will get there. It is going to happen. Slowly but surely. I'm not trying not to stress about it. And honestly, having this community thing over internet with you, being able to talk to you this way and doing more of the online presence than ever is filling that gap in my heart a little bit. So that is helpful as well. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for thumbs up, because it's really important. Subscribing as well. That makes this whole difference on YouTube. It's very important to do it this way, and to keep the channel visible, because YouTube policies are changing constantly, and it's not really easy to be on the surface. So thank you so much for watching. I really wish you a wonderful rest of the day or the evening. I'm waiting for the comments and your insight. I would love to read it under the video. And I really hope that was helpful. And what else would you like to see in the future? Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. It was great to have you here. And again, thank you for the support. I got tips from you unexpectedly. You are the best. Tipping is so, so wonderful, cute, and I really appreciate it. So, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Thank you, Carmencita. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Constance. Thank you, Michelle. Bye, guys. Thank you. I hope to see you in France. A lot of French ladies here today. So I hope this is going to happen. Let's keep our fingers crossed. There will be no obstacles. Thank you, thank you. Bye, bye. Pa. Dziękuję, Bea, bo fajnie Cię widzieć. A dziękuję właśnie Towarzystwu z Polski. Bardzo mi miło, że pojawili się tutaj również moi krajanie, bo czasami tak mi aż troszkę smutno. Tak samo i tutaj. Także bardzo się cieszę. Mam nadzieję, że się podobało i że się przyda. Thank you. Bye. Oh, I need to keep hydrated. It's not whiskey, it's tea. Just cold. Buziaki. Dziękuję, dziękuję. No to świetnie, że się zachciało kończyć projekty. Bardzo się cieszę. Thank you, Anita. Thank you. Przecież po to robię, żeby się zachciało. No bo to tak... Wiadomo, że nie zawsze jest szwung do roboty, ale czasem jak się tak trochę poprawi. Thank you, guys. It's great. Thank you. Bye, bye. Thank you, thank you. Dziękuję. To brudne. A się zgrzałam. Bye, guys. Thank you. I'm waiting for the feedback.